Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, playing Doom Eternal, Ancient Gods 2. This is the third mission of the DLC called Immora. There's technically a fourth mission, which is just the final boss battle. But welcome to the 100% walkthrough. In this series, I've been showing you where you can get everything, including things like Codex pages, BFG Ammo, extra lives, and more, just to make sure that if you want, you can get through the game and get 100%. I'll also show you a bunch of tips and tricks if you are struggling, even for the harder difficulties. I think a lot of these will come in handy. Right off the beginning, you can skip quite a few of the enemies, and then you should notice a very obvious Codex page directly in front of you. I hope you don't miss that one. And then what you want to do is just move forward and watch out for the tentacles. They can cause a lot of damage if you're not paying attention to where they can spawn. And then jump up and to the left here, and what you'll want to do is just walk forward, drop on down, and from here we can grab an extra life. This will be our first extra life. I don't think this level is too hard personally. I actually think the second mission was harder than this third mission, but maybe you disagree. It's fine. Either way, that's where the extra life is, just in case you're wondering, on the map, and I will show you the auto map and everything, of course. For here, all you want to do is basically just move forward into the next area. In the next area, we do have our Escalation Encounter. Just for reference, I only do show the first wave, as the second wave is pretty similar, just a little bit more difficult. And there is a bullet for your BFG here, so if you are maxed out, I would highly recommend that you use one of your 2 shots and then just come and pick up what you're missing. Additionally, there is a ton of ammo and stuff kind of scattered around, so you can stock up before starting this escalation. In terms of enemies here, you'll get a couple of makers, which is actually really useful because if you headshot them, well, you have to headshot them kind of to take them out, you know, realistically. But when you do, you also get a ton of ammo, which is a good way to farm ammo without having to use your chainsaw all that often. Floating above in the middle, you can also find a Sentinel Hammer ability if you want to restock at any point if you need to. I don't think this fight is too difficult. There's a couple of Revenants. I believe a Doom Hunter will spawn. And, but yeah, it's not too bad. For the Doom Hunter, of course, the best practices are the Blood Punch and the Plasma Rifle. And then I like to use the lock-on rocket at the end just to finish them up. The Whiplashes, for some reason, I think caused me more trouble than anything. If I had to guess here, I lost a lot of health to them right here, even. But you shouldn't have too many issues, I don't think. Just take your time and learn the enemies. You should also have a lot of extra lives built up by now. Once you take care of all of the enemies, the door will open and you'll have a very obvious auto map directly in front of you as you're leaving rather. This one's really hard to miss. Additionally, you'll get your last Sentinel Hammer upgrade, which is just an increased daze. So if you do daze an enemy, they will stay dazed for longer. This will be really helpful for later against the Marauders. There will be quite a few Marauders, and not to spoil anything, but you're definitely going to want to learn the Marauder mechanics. And you can move forward past that door from the auto map. Take out all of the enemies here. There will be an Arachnotron and a couple of lighter enemies. You can definitely build up some of your ammo here. As you saw, I was pretty short. And there is a double extra life very close by, so we'll make sure to grab that before we leave. Once you do take care of all of the enemies, jump up on that ledge where the Arachnotron just came from. Arachnotrons are also great to rebuild your Sentinel Hammer, so make sure you can use it. I haven't been using the Sentinel Hammer all that much, but I've learned through more and more play that you can regenerate it pretty fast, especially if you're doing glory kills, so you can definitely use your Sentinel Hammer more than I have been. Here, your 2 extra lives, grab that. We're now up to 8 on this playthrough, but if you haven't died at all, I think you'll have 10 or 11 actually. I lost a couple while practicing some strategies. And here you can move forward. There will be a large tentacle arm and a couple of enemies that spawn as well. As soon as you enter this next room, you may notice an extra life 1-up. I'm going to ignore it temporarily and instead take care of all the enemies. 2 Mancubus will spawn kind of up and above. I'm going to focus on them first. Use your glory kills on them to build some blood punches, and you could blood punch them to take them out very, very quickly. There's also 2 blood punches that just sit at the bottom, right in the middle. So feel free to pick those up as well and take care of the barons that spawn. I used my rockets because I knew there was some rocket ammo I could pick up afterwards. And once we take care of all of these, you can make the jump across for the extra life 1-up. Go up the ramp here, turn to the left, watch out for the fireballs, and then face the inside of the room, and there's this large gap. You can double jump, double dash across, and pick up the extra life 1-up. Watch out for the tentacle arms, of course. You can use your ballista or your shotgun or even a precision bolt if you want to save on ammo, up to you. And then just platform towards the next waypoint. Once you reach this next area, a couple of stone imps will spawn. For some reason, I forgot the controls and my hands stopped working during this section. But take care of the stone imps. There will be a Cacodemon that spawns, maybe a Pain Elemental, as well as an Arachnotron. Feel free to use your Sentinel Hammer here to, just daze a couple enemies and make it a little bit easier. This fight's not too hard. There's also a ton of ammo and armor littered around to help you out. Upon reaching the top of this ramp, you will enter into a area with a few enemies. Just take them out real quick and then use the Meat Hook Grapple Point to get up and to the right to the next area. Here you'll want to make sure you take care of the turrets. The best weapon for this, or maybe even the only weapon for this, is the precision bolt sniper rifle. And then what we'll do is we'll walk forward and a spirited enemy will spawn. I like to use the rockets on that enemy because there is a lot of rocket ammo kind of scattered around the area. So you can always restock pretty quickly, and the rocket does a lot of work on it. So take care of the spirit, pick up all of the little goodies around, and then hop into the ship, which is the waypoint, to progress the level. As soon as you spawn out of that cutscene, there will be a Codex page directly in front of you to your left. Make sure you pick that up. You don't want to miss it and have to redo the whole level. You can always fast travel at the end just in case you need to though, but you definitely want to grab that. As soon as you exit out this door, grab your ballista or whatever weapon you're comfortable with and take out this pain elemental. Hopefully you have slightly better aim than me. And then for the most part, you can just skip all the other enemies that spawn, although they do help you build up your ammo. And then you can proceed by going down the towards the kind of shot in the wall here. So shoot the wall, and then you'll need to double dash or triple or even quadruple dash inside before the laser gate freezes again or reopens, whatever you want to say. And then checkpoint and jump into this tunnel. As you come out, go to the left and into this next battle area by jumping down and then double dashing across. Now, during this fight, you are free to use one of your BFG ammo. It's completely up to you. There's also a supercharge right in the middle of the area. And as our main two enemies, 2 marauders will spawn. There will also be a ton of screechers. So make sure you don't take out the screechers if you don't need to. Instead, we're going to use that super shotgun and ballista combo on the marauders. You can also try to use that BFG if you so desire. There's also some blood punches scattered around, but get used to the marauder stuff. In case you forgot, you want to stay at a medium range with the marauder, and they will attack you with their sword. If they glow green and make a sound, that means you can hit them. I would also highly recommend using your sentinel hammer after you stun them for an increased daze time. This will allow you to basically take them out pretty easily, as you can do a lot more damage by doing this. But if you're done, you can move on. With the battle done, we can now jump towards the waypoint by double jumping, double dashing across this gap. There is a not so obvious Codex page sitting in the corner here. If you're not paying attention, you definitely want to pick this one up, and then you want to take care of some of these enemies. These guys will also drop you some ammo, so feel free to use them for ammo or just sprint on by them. As you sprint on by them, there will be a couple of pickups you can grab, like this chainsaw ammo, as well as a sentinel hammer recharge down and to the left, but we are trying to go down and to the right towards a switch And after we take care of all of the enemies, that switch will be enabled, and then we can use it to open up a door. With the Doom Hunter taken care of, we can now open up the door. As you use this switch, a couple of different enemies will spawn, including another Doom Hunter. Feel free to use your BFG ammo if you are maxed, as there is a pickup coming up in the next room. So definitely no point of not using it if you are full and at 60. And then what we can do is take out all the enemies and go inside, go downstairs to the laser grid. If you go down to the laser grid, you can find a switch to turn it off. If you turn off the laser grid, you can then walk past the door and pick up the extra BFG ammo in the basement. Watch out, I do get in a little bit of a sticky situation. I thought I cleared out most of the enemies. However, there were a couple of invisible whiplash that were really giving me trouble. And I didn't realize for a fair bit of time that that's what was damaging me. So I'm going to go and pick up this BFG ammo and then just take care of all of the enemies and move on through to the waypoint itself. At this point, you can walk to the waypoint and open up the door. Make sure you grab the Codex page before you enter the portal. This should be your last one if you've been following along, unlocking an achievement or trophy. I already had mine done from a previous playthrough. We can now go through the portal, and this will be one of the last fights we need to do before we can actually kind of finish off the DLC. So here there is a couple of important things to take note of. Most importantly, I believe, is the BFG ammo sitting right under this guy right here. This is kind of going to be one of the last times where BFG ammo is actually useful. You can try to use it against the final boss, but I didn't find a very effective strategy for it. So you might as well just burn through most of your BFG ammo. Just use it very, very liberally. And additionally, there is a supercharge in the bottom middle of the area. The supercharge will basically just give you full armor and full health if you didn't know. A lot of enemies will spawn. You'll get a spirited enemy, you'll get a blood maker, a cursed prowler will also spawn, a couple of barons, and a spirited, I think it might be a spirited doom hunter or something like that. So a lot of firepower can be used against those guys, and I would definitely recommend saving the BFG for when a lot of enemies all spawn at once, or for this big guy who is spirited right here. You definitely want to make sure that if you do use your BFG, you watch out and you make sure that if the BFG connects and you do take out that enemy, that you are ready to take out the spirit right after. So I used my BFG right here. I thought all the enemies were going to be chasing behind me, but they kind of moved out of the way. Pick up the BFG ammo if you need to, and you should be good to go. This fight isn't too hard, in my opinion. I don't think any Marauders spawn at the end either, so just take out what you can at your own pace, and you should be good to go. Once we take care of everything, we'll automatically be teleported to the next area. This is pretty much just a prep phase for the final boss battle. All you'll need to do is grab the haste, and a ton of stone imps will spawn. Probably like 20 of them. They won't all spawn at once, but every time you take care of one, more and more will spawn. So all you need to do is use that full auto shotgun, take out the stone imps, and I would try my best to save the armor and health on the battlefield itself so that you can save it for later, but that's up to you. And all you need to do is take care of all of them, pick up everything you need to pick up, and then you can move towards the waypoint to finish off this level, Immora. With all of the enemies taken care of, you can now also fast travel around the map, I believe. If you did miss a collectible, grab all of the ammo and armor you can, and then run through the portal to end the level. Thank you so much for watching. A special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and I'll see you soon. Peace.